Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Stephanie A. Wynn, and today is going to be a great day. So, before we get started, um, I just want to say that today's going to be a great day. Y'all have to excuse me for my tardiness, but you know how technical difficulties can be sometimes. So if I'm new to your timeline, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want you to tag, share if you are an author who is or aspiring author who needs some author branding tips. This is your channel. This is your time to join me because I am going to give you some really good information today. So today we're talking about the 5 things you need to build an author brand before. I got some hair right there. Y'all see that? Oh no. Sorry, y'all. 5 things you need to build an author brand before you sell your book. The reason why I want to talk about this is because when I first published my very first book, I knew nothing about the publishing industry, nothing like not nada, right? And so I want to help my author friends community, specifically my aspiring and even my established authors with truly getting the understanding of like you need to brand first before you sell your book. And I'm going to get into today's tip. So hang on, stand by. I'm coming with the tips this morning. So get your piece of paper and pen because I am going to give you some good tips today. So I am ready and we are ready to go. So again, for those, if I'm new to your timeline, again, I'm Stephanie A. Wynn, and I am a actually about to be a 3-time author, but it's in the work, guys. It's in the work. I'm really excited about my second and third book. So a little bit about me. I started my very first business at the age of 23 and was the youngest woman of color to open an ice cream shop in my local city at that age. Now, there were other ice cream shops in the area, but it wasn't it was outside of a 5-mile radius. And I wanted to make a difference in my community. I wanted to provide something for our community where families could come and get ice cream and it was affordable, right? So super love that ice cream shop changed my life because that is when I realized that that entrepreneurship bug was just in me. It was engraved in my spirit. Like I was like, oh yeah, this is it, this is it, this is it, right? So the ice cream shop is what prompted me fast forward to write my business self-help book, Ready Set Go, a simple guide to establishing a successful small business. So what I did when I published my very first book, I went on a nationwide book tour, and the goal was, most people they start their, they write their book, and they really truly want to be Amazon #1 bestseller. They want to sell 1 million copies or be New York Times bestseller. And I just, that did not interest me at all, because my goal for the book was to get in as many hands as I possibly could. The goal was for me to impact those people who are wanting to start a business, which was the startup. And remember, like I too was there. I thought my book was for everybody. And when you're publishing a book or writing a book, your book is for somebody, but it's not for everybody. And I want to say that again. Let me get close and personal. Your book is for somebody, but it's not for everybody. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Your book is for somebody, but not everybody. And a lot of times I see this all the time. My book is on Amazon. Can you go buy my book? Go buy my book. Well, when people, to me, it's like you're begging people to buy this thing that you work so hard for. And when you do that, that means that you're not clear really of your reader audience. One, you don't have a plan. I know because I was there, but I knew I wanted something different for my book, right? So we're gonna get right into this topic. So again, like I said, this was really big for me. That that this book, my experience with going through the publishing process, is what taught me to help like my author community with learning how to find their ideal customer, ideal reader, and then taking their book and leveraging it and turning it into a business. Like, you should want more for your book than book sales. You should start thinking about this before you actually get the physical copy in your hand. And sometimes we're so excited about, oh, I got this book in my hand. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And you haven't even planned on like what's next after the book sale. See, before I even published my very first book, my mind was already like, well, what am I going to do next after these book sales? After I've had my book launch party, after I've done this, what is next for this book? And that's when I started the planning. So I was a little bit different than most. I just like to be different. And that was actually being, um, uh, what do you say? I set myself apart. Some people may say the your unique sales proposition, but your value sales proposition, USP, VSP, what set me apart. I didn't want to just be Amazon #1 bestseller, because I realized early on that doesn't give you, like, that's not gonna make you a millionaire or billionaire, right? So I wanted something different. So I planned a nationwide book tour, and I went from the East Coast, the Midwest, to the West Coast. So again, what is the plan for your book? I want you to ask yourself that. But we're gonna get right into this presentation, and then I'm gonna let you be about your day. So happy Friday! Thank you all for tuning in. Again, get your pen, get your paper, because this is gonna be really good, guys. Okay. Now, the first thing you need to do, because we're talking about the 5 things that you will need to build your author brand before you sell your book. The first thing you need to do is get clear about your reader audience. A lot of us are, again, like I just said, when we publish our book, we will start selling to everybody. We'll start selling. Um, hey, buy my book, get my book, and have no clue of who the people that are most likely to be interested in this very thing that we work so hard for. Does that make sense? So if that makes sense to you, give me a hashtag make sense. Drop a hashtag make sense. I know some of you may still be in the bed, but I'm going to drop these nuggets today, right? So again, you got to get clear about your reader audience. And you have to do this before. Now, let's say you've already published your book. For those authors who have already published their books, guess what you need to do? You need to really figure out who are the people that are interested in this book. So let me give you some examples of what a reader audience look like. These are you first you want to ask yourself, who are they? Like, who are the people that are most likely to be interested in this book? Right? Number 2, where are they? These are the people who are, like, where are they? Are they on social media? Are they online? Are they offline? Are they in, author groups? I mean, business groups, consulting groups? Like, where are they? If you're an author speaker, are they in speaker groups? Are you an author coach? Are they in coaching groups? Are you an author consultant? You see what I'm saying? Like, where are the people who are most likely to be interested in purchasing your book? Like, you need to find this out first before you start selling this book. You should know this. You should know all of these things. So your reader audience, and I want to let you know this, these are the people who are most interested in buying your book. That's who your reader audience is. Does that make sense? So again, your reader audience, you need to know, who are they? Is it a woman? Is it a man? Is it children? And if you, for my children book authors out here, if you're reader audience is for children, then your audience need to be parents, guardians, counselors, principal, like school districts. Hello, librarians, like the library, like really. You got to start building this relationship with these people. Where are they located? Are you gonna, are you gonna hit locally first? Then you're gonna expand out to nationwide, to globally. So you have to really, really map this out. And remember, your reader audience are the people who are most interested in your book. They are the people who are most interested in your book. Okay. Next, number 2. This is the second thing that you will need to build an author brand before you sell your book, right? You need to create a marketing strategy for your book. And what does that mean? That means you need to have some type of goal for your book. What's the goal for your book? Like, what's the plan for your book? When I wrote Ready, Set, Go, I created a business plan. And I have to show y'all that on the next. I'll get my business plan out so you guys can see that. But I created a business plan for my book. And Ready, Set, Go, I knew that it was for the startup. I knew it was for somebody who they don't want all of the papers. They don't want to sit through hours and hours. They just need a simple, essential guide that can help them start their business. That's it. Simplicity. That's it. So let me give you an example of what should be in a marketing strategy. So some people may be like, oh, that word marketing, I can't stand it. Well, marketing, remember, it's all about, figuring it, even with entrepreneurship, it's about figuring it out, going back to the table, figuring it out, going back to the table, right? Number 3. So this is the 3 things that should be included in a marketing strategy, right? And that is your reader audience, excuse me, your reader audience. You should know who your target reader audience is, right? Be target audience, but it's the reader audience because you're an author, right? You should have marketing materials like graphics, or maybe you are doing like blogs, or maybe you're doing a podcast, maybe you're doing a live, right? And then you need to have a distribution plan inside of this marketing strategy. What do I mean by that? I'm not talking about like your book distribution. I'm talking about how are you going to market, what platform, like are you going to distribute your marketing strategy via social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube? How are you going to distribute your marketing plan? Like, what does that look like? And let's go back to your marketing materials. Like sometimes, and I'm going to say this, sometimes you just have to start. Canva is free. You could go into Canva, create you some graphics, get your brand, your brand your branding, your colors together, and just be consistent. But you need to have some marketing material so that people know exactly what you're doing and what you're talking about. Does that make sense? So again, your marketing material, your marketing strategy should include 3 things. These are just 3 of many that you should have in your marketing strategy. Okay, you need to know who your target, the reader audience. Like I see people, and even this is for my entrepreneurs who are authors, right? And they want to service 2 different avatars. I get it. But what happens when we're serving 2 different avatars? Because I've been there. I want to help people with business, and I want to help my authors. You're all over the place. And you really have to get focused on like one thing and focus on it and talk directly to that one thing. Like I'm talking to authors, that one thing. And I know some people may say, well, then you're only getting, that's a small community of people. Well, my question is, if you are in this big pool of people and you're just speaking to everybody, you're going to get all types of people. And those are not the people that you really want. And what happens is you burn out. You burn out quickly because you got all these different type of people. They're just, it's not what you had planned, and you find yourself like overwhelmed. This is not it. That's why it's important to focus on one group of people, because what that will do for you is now I'm more targeted. I have a targeted audience that I can focus on, and I can go directly to them people. I can speak directly to those people, those group of people. Okay? So remember, you gotta narrow down your reader audience. It's so important. It may not, it will change over time depending on what you're doing with your book. So again, if you're an author coach, author consultant, author speaker, it is going to change over time. All right. All right. Now, number 3, here's the third reason what you need to do before, how to build your author brand before you sell your book, right? You got to create a book launch team. You should have a book launch team. And if you've already published a book and you want to relaunch your book, get the movement going about your book, create the book launch team. And what this does, this help people get interested in what it is you're about to do. Creating a book launch team brings about more brand awareness, right? This helps you with building your brand. I'm just saying, this helps you with building that brand. So, what does that look like? How many people do you may be saying, well, Stephanie, how many people, what does that look like? How many people do I need for a book launch team? So, let me break this down for you. Your book launch team can consist of 10 friends, 10 family members, 5 experts in your industry, right? Maybe you have friends who are, if you're a teacher, right? Let me break this down for my teacher authors, right? My authors who are teachers. You can get 5 of your your peers to be a part of your book launch team. Just saying. You can get 5 family members. If you have 5 cousins, get 5 cousins, get 5 aunts and uncles. You have your 10 family members, right? And then just 10 friends. Maybe you befriended someone in groups. You could find 10 friends. I'm just saying, like, it's that simple. So again, get you a book launch team, and don't overdo it. Even if you can't come up with 25, so that's a total of 25 people, right? So even if you can't come up with those 25, guess what? It's okay. Get at least 10. You can get 10, and it's a mixture of people. Good. So your book launch team is the people that you want to bring they're gonna talk about your book on their platform. And then with this book launch team, right? This launch team helps you also with getting brand awareness about your book, because they're going to share this on their pages. Does that make sense? Just saying. Get your book launch team. And for my authors who have already published their book, and you want to rebrand yourself, or you want to come out and relaunch your book, the same thing applies. Get you a book launch team. And here is just a simplistic way of building this team. It can be 10 friends, 10 family members, 5 experts in your industry. If you're a teacher, if you're a professor, 5 people, 5 of your peers who can be on your team. And all they're going to do, they're going to give you feedback on your book. And then the incentive for you building this launch team is giving them a copy of your book, autographed copy. I don't know about y'all, but that's a good idea, right? Okay, let's keep on. Next, number 4. The 4th thing that you need to do to build your author brand is create an email marketing campaign. Now, I'm going to say this for my authors, because I'm in, I see a lot of things. And what I noticed with being an author on my journey, nobody told me I needed these things. Nobody told me I needed to create an email list. I'm going on my book tour. People are signing up. I mean, I had them sign up because I wanted to send out thank you notes and keep in contact with them. But I knew nothing about an email marketing campaign when I first published my book. I had to research and learn how to do these things, right? So many of my author friends have, let's say they have a book. They've recently published their book and they're out here, they're selling. People are purchasing their book. And when you're in person doing book signings, and I'm gonna say this, let me get a little closer to y'all. When you're in person doing book signings, right? And they're signing up for your email list. And maybe you don't have like an iPad where they can like digitally sign up, but you have a paper, a paper sign up sheet, right? When those people who purchase your book, right? When they purchase your book, you have them sign up for your email list. You want to keep in contact with the people who have supported you. And guess what? Now they're not cold people. They know who you are. You've built a relationship. They've seen you. They know you. They've bought your books once or twice, right? I'm just saying. So a lot of my author community friends don't have an email marketing campaign, or they are blind copying hundreds of people in Google or Yahoo. That's not good. That is not good. And if you're doing this, you need to stop because you're going to get blocked for spam. They will flag your account. Trust me. Trust me, I know. So please don't do that. And let me tell you how to create an email marketing strategy and what needs to be included in the email marketing strategy, right? So here's what's included in an email campaign, right? So your email campaign, email marketing strategy, whatever you want to call it, but it's an email campaign. I'm going back to what I've been saying through this whole presentation. You need to know who your target audience is. Like you got to have a target audience, meaning you got to know who the people are. So for you, my author friends, that is the people who are most likely to be interested in buying your book or have purchased your book, right? Number 2, you need to select the email service provider. Now, what is that? That could be MailChimp. That could be ConvertKit. That could be ActiveCampaign. That can be MailerLite, Constant Contact. I've tried them all. I have tried them all. And let me tell you, I'm all about simplicity. I love ConvertKit because it's simple. It's not technical. It's simple. I can do much more things. I can connect a lot of more things in the CRM. And it's just, to me, it's just simple. Some people love MailChimp because it's free. And I don't know, but I like ConvertKit. I just did my research and development, and I just found that ConvertKit is simple. It's simplistic. And I'm here to say this. You got to find what works best for you. So you need an email service provider. And that is a email software where you can upload your list of people who have purchased your book somewhere along your journey, right? Whether it's in person or directly from your website, right? And you can stay in contact with these people. Now, to create an email campaign, you need an email list. You can't create the campaign without a list. That's like selling a book and you don't have a physical book. You're selling these copies pre-sale. You don't have the book yet. And you've been selling this book for 6 months. No physical book. So remember, you need to create an email campaign. This should also be included in your marketing strategy. Just saying. I know this may be a lot this morning, But I'm dropping these nuggets today because I want y'all to be great at building this author brand first before you sell them books, right? Okay, we're going to keep it moving. So remember, you got to know who your target audience is. And you need to have an email service provider, whether it's MailChimp, ConvertKit, um, and whether it's, Active Campaign. Active Campaign is for the more advanced people who, maybe you have a marketing team and they use the Active Campaign. I don't know. I just found that it's quite expensive, and you don't get the many options that you need. Like for me, that's just my opinion. So again, you got to figure out what truly works for you and your author brand. But you need these three things to create an email campaign. Okay? All right. Now, number 5. Number 5. This is the best part of this. You got to position your brand. You got to learn how to position your author brand. And some may be saying, well, Stephanie, what do you mean position your author brand? Like, what's going to set your author brand apart? And where are you going to be in the marketplace? Meaning, like, is it online, offline? How are you going to set your self apart? Now, I remember when I started my first business at the age of 23. I know some people may say at the age of 23, you don't look like you're that old, but trust me, there's some miles on this scale. Let me stop. So, when I was 23, we didn't have social media. There was no Twitter, there was no LinkedIn, no Facebook. There was nothing, right? It was manual marketing, word of mouth. You had to really, really be on your game. I read a lot of marketing books back then. Excuse me, I went to the library. I educated myself. I got in the rooms with people who could teach me a thing or three or two. Thank you, Jay Spikes, for that. A thing or three, right? So remember, you got to position your author brand as well. Like, how are you going to position yourself? Like, how are you showing up for your reader audience? Once you found that target reader audience, how are you showing up for them? And what's going to set you apart from all of the million gazillion of authors out here, right? How are you doing it? Are you consistent with showing up? I see it all the time. Authors, they go through the publishing process, they do the book launch party, and it's crickets. It's crickets. Nothing. It's like they've fallen out. It's like your book dies. It's like you've fallen off the face of the earth. You don't see the author. They don't push their book. They don't even talk about the book. I'm just saying. So let me give you some examples of how to position your author brand. So number 1, you got to create a brand message. What is your brand message? How do the people who are most likely to buy your book, how do they know that you have this book? Your brand message should be clear. It should be like a catchy phrase, right? And concise. It should. I'm just saying. And then number 2, how are you going to differentiate your brand from the other authors? What's going to make you different? On my entrepreneurship journey, I didn't know in the beginning, I didn't know anything about being an author. Like, I didn't know anything about being an author. I had cut all my hair off, created this fade, and I branded myself as that. That was a part of my brand. There's nobody that looks like me. I mean, there's people that got fades. I'm not saying that, but the way I positioned my brand was totally different. Has it changed over time? Absolutely. My colors changed. Things have changed. I have evolved. Now remember, your brand You will always go back and rebrand and, make adjustments. Sure. I'm just saying. But you got to ask yourself, what's going to set me apart from the other authors? What is it? Write that down. And you got to be consistent. Show up for your people. Those people who are most interested in your book, show up for them because they're depending on you. There's one person who is depending on you. You may have a book inside your belly that you want to write. You keep putting it off and putting it off because you keep making excuses as to why you can't get this book, journal, planner out. You do everything else, you go to parties, you do your thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's one person depending on you to show up for them. And because you're not consistent, just saying, I might hurt somebody's feelings this morning, but trust me, charge it to my heart. Got to be honest. I was there. You got all these things going on. You're busy. I'm over here. I'm over there. I got to do this. I got to do that. You signed up for this program. You signed up for that program. And you have not finished anything that you start. You may be wanting to start that business. You want to take this book and start a business to help impact somebody. But because you're inconsistent, they can't find you and you can't find them because you're not showing up for them. And they need you right now. They need you. I'm just saying. So let me give you an example of a brand message. A message that we are all too familiar with. So here's an example of a brand message. Nike. How many of you have a pair of Nikes? I know I do. I have a pair of Nike Frees. Let me tell y'all. I'm going to show y'all these Nike Frees because I want to let y'all know it's like a sock. Like I've had it for, let me show y'all. Let me show y'all the shoe now. Now this is a Nike. It's a Nike Free. This is the sock. I've had this shoe for like years. Maybe since 2015. Just saying, y'all. I don't walk some miles on them shoes, right? But Nike brand message, slogan, if you want to call that, is just do it. Just do it. That's an example. So, remember I just said you got to show up for your people, your group of people, right? Show up for your group of people so that they know where you are. Even if you don't have everything together, show up. You got to be consistent with your group of people who are waiting for you to help them be great, right? In order to do that, you got to be consistent. So somebody may be saying, well, Stephanie, I need to know what I need to do to show up for my target audience, my reader audience, this group of people, right? I got you. To do that, it's going to require something from you, and that's effort and time. That's effort and time. That's effort and time. So I want you all to think about this. I want you to think about, like, what do I need to do to show up for my audience consistently? So when we talk about the what do I need to do? What do I need to post? I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to help you with that. I want you to grab this freebie. And this is the Author Brand Awareness 30-Day Marketing Calendar, right? So in this marketing calendar, right, this is going to help you. It's going to give you the prompts of what you need to be posting for 30 days. 30 days, that's 4 weeks. If you posted Monday through Friday, that's 4 weeks. Grab this calendar. It's 30-day calendar, 4 weeks. It's going to help you show up. Many of us, we post, I'm talking to the author community. We don't know what to post. So all you see us posting is, hey, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. Hey, buy my book. My book is over here. My book is on Amazon. That's all we say. My book is on Amazon. And it's more to just being on Amazon. If your book is impacting and will transform your community of people, your reader audience, then you have to do more than just sell your book. You have to educate your people. You have to give them some value. So this 30-day marketing calendar is the Author Brand Awareness 30-day marketing calendar. Grab it. I will put the link in the comments, in the description, and grab it, like, and share it with your author friends. You may have friends that are authors. Again, you got to show up. Like I just said, if you don't show up for your group of people, how do they know that you have something that they need? Right? People need help now. And if you have something that they can use right now, they'll buy from you all day. Good morning, Miss Hope. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Remember, you got to be consistent and show up for your group of people. Remember, what's going to set you apart? A lot of us say we're so busy. You're over here, you're over there. You got to do this. You have to do that. You want more people to buy your book, but you're not showing up for the people. You're not showing up. Pick a day. Maybe you have a podcast. Maybe you have, you go live. Maybe you have social media graphics that you're going to post. Pick a day. But in this calendar, it tells you what to post. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're only posting, showing up 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that's fine. Show up those 3 days. But when you show up, add value to your community of people, right? You have a book. You have experience. You are the expert. And you got to stand on that. And a lot of us allow imposter syndrome to take over. I know, I was there. We allow that to take over when we have to get out of our own way. We got to get out of our own way because there's one person depending on you to show up for them, and they can't find you because you're inconsistent with them, right? And you're not showing up for them. So you may not be feeling good today, but you need to show up for your community of people who are most likely to be interested in your book and your brand. So I hope you found these 5 things that you need to do to building out the brand before you sell another book. Before you sell another book, grab these 5 things and let me know how that turned out for you. And make sure you grab this 30-day marketing calendar for author brand awareness, because it's going to help you and it's going to change your life. I promise you. I'm your girl, Stephanie A. Wynn. Happy Friday. Go out and enjoy this day. If you're off to get to the job, have an amazing day. And remember, you got to show up for that one person, because somebody is waiting on you to show up for them. You all have a blessed weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.